Now let us understand escape velocity. What happens if we throw ball in upward direction? Let us see. So when we throw a ball in upward direction, its velocity decreases. Why? Because the gravitational force of Earth is acting vertically downwards. Let us see. So here is a ball and we have thrown that ball in upward direction. So when the ball is going in upward direction, the Earth's gravitational force is acting vertically downwards in the which is opposite to the velocity of the ball, and because of that force which is opposite to the velocity of the ball, the velocity of ball is decreases with respect to time, and at a certain time the velocity of the ball becomes zero. At this point, when velocity of the ball becomes zero, it cannot be go further upward direction, but it starts to fall downwards. So ball starts to fall downward when its velocity becomes zero and it reaches again the earth surface. According to Newton's third law of motion, v square is equal to u square plus 2as, where v is the final velocity of the ball, u is the initial velocity, a is the acceleration, and s is the distance covered by the object. So here when ball reaches maximum distance at a certain time, velocity becomes zero. So v is the final velocity, it is equal to zero. If acceleration is in the opposite direction of the velocity, then it is taken as negative. Therefore here the acceleration due to gravity is vertically downwards and movement of ball or velocity of the ball is vertically upwards. Therefore it is opposite direction of the velocity and hence a is taken as negative. Therefore putting the value of v as 0 and a as negative g, 0 is equal to u square plus 2 into negative g into s. Therefore 0 it is equal to square of u minus 2gs. Therefore 2gs is equal to u square. So s is equal to, dividing throughout by 2 into g, s is equal to u square upon 2g. Now remember this formula. If we want to calculate the distance covered by the object, we have to use this formula. So s is equal to u square upon 2g. Now look at this equation. S is equal to u square upon 2g. Here value of g is constant when height is very small. Therefore 2 into g also constant. So s is directly depends upon u, means distance covered by the object is depends upon what is the initial velocity of that object. So therefore higher the initial velocity u, the larger is the height reached by the ball. If you want to go at larger distances, you have to keep initial velocity greater. So greater the initial velocity, larger will be the distance covered by the ball. If initial velocity is greater, the ball will be oppose the gravity of the earth more, and thus the ball will cover larger height. Now let us understand escape velocity, the concept of escape velocity. As height from Earth's surface increases, the value of g get decreases. Suppose the object is here, which is at particular height from the Earth's surface h. Now, as the height from the Earth's surface increases, the value of g gets decreases. So value of g on the Earth's surface, it is taken as 9.8, but as the height from the Earth's surface increases, the value of g get decreases. Thus the force pulling the ball downwards is also get decreases as ball goes up. So when ball goes up and up, means it reaches maximum height from the earth's surface, the value of g is present there. Value of g is become less and less, or become smaller and smaller as the ball go in the upward direction. If we keep increasing the initial velocity of the ball, it will be reach larger and larger height. So if the initial velocity is get increased, then what happens? This maximum increase the initial velocity will fight against the Earth's gravitational acceleration, and it will be reach larger and larger heights. This is the downward pull present around the Earth, and we are applying greater and greater initial velocity. So at a particular value of initial velocity, what happens? So using a particular value of initial velocity, the ball will be overcome the gravitational field, gravitational downward pull of the earth, and it can be escaped from the earth's gravitational pull, and that particular velocity is called as escape velocity. And at this point, what happens there? The ball is now released. Ball is now escapes Earth's gravitational pull. So value of g is 0 there. So at particular place, the value of g is 0 there, means no any downward pull applied by the earth is present there. Therefore, the object do not come back on the earth's surface. This particular value of initial velocity is called as escape velocity. Remember that. What happens actually? An object going vertically upward from the earth's surface having initial velocity equal to escape velocity. Now if we apply initial velocity equal to escape velocity, what happens there? So we are applying, ball is here, and we are applying the initial velocity of the ball equal to escape velocity. This is the gravitational pull present around the earth surface. The ball will go in upward direction and reaches at maximum height. At a particular point, it is out of the gravitational, or it is escaped from gravitational pull applied by the earth. But as the velocity of the initial velocity of the ball is equal to escape velocity, at this point velocity of that ball is become 0, and it is also escaped from the gravitational pull applied by the earth, so it cannot come back and also cannot go further. So the object, that ball, remains stationary here. The ball have initial velocity greater than escape velocity. Then what happens? If the initial velocity is greater than escape velocity, there it will be escape from Earth's gravitational field, and after that also the speed, the velocity of balls is does not become zero. Therefore it escape from the Earth's pull and it go further and further in upward direction. G is equal to G into M upon R square. Now look at this formula. G is constant, M is the mass of the earth which is also constant. So gravitational force G is inversely proportional to the square of distances. Now our distance is infinite, then value of G becomes 0. So value of G becomes 0 at infinite distances from the earth. For the object to be free from the gravity of the earth, it has to reach infinite distance from the earth. Now let us find formula for escape velocity. For that, let us consider an object of mass m which is on the surface of the earth and which is at infinite distances from the earth. So for object on the surface of the earth, kinetic energy is equal to 1 upon 2 m into square of escape velocity. Then the potential energy of that object is equal to negative G into m upon r. So the total energy on the surface of the earth is equal to kinetic energy plus potential energy. It is equal to 1 half m into square of escape velocity minus G into m upon r. Now, if object is at infinite distances from the earth, kinetic energy at infinite distances is equal to 0. And what about the potential energy? Since r is infinite, r, the value of r is very large, therefore negative G into m upon infinity, and it is equal to 0. So potential energy at infinite distances is equal to 0, and kinetic energy also there is 0. So total energy, it is equal to kinetic energy plus potential energy, it is equal to 0. Now as we know that law of conservation of the energy, energy do not be created, not to be destroyed, but one form of energy can be converted into another form of the energy, and the total energy in the universe remains constant. Therefore the energy on the earth's surface, that is 1 upon 2 m into square of escape velocity minus G into m upon r. So it is the velocity, it is the energy, total energy on the earth's surface. Now it is equal to the total energy at infinite distances, but it is 0. Therefore 1 upon 2 into m into square of escape velocity, it is equal to G into m upon r. Now divide throughout by m, so m is cancelled there. Therefore square of escape velocity it is equal to 2 into G into m upon r. Now taking square root on both the sides, we got escape velocity is equal to under square root 2 into gm upon r. So remember this formula of escape velocity. Now let us calculate escape velocity of the earth. We know the formula for escape velocity. It is equal to under square root 2 into gm upon r. Now we know that gm upon r square, it is equal to g. Therefore escape velocity is equal to under square root of 2 into gm upon r square into r. It is equal to under square root 2 into gr. Now let us calculate escape velocity of the earth. Escape velocity is equal to under square root 2 into g into r, where the value of g on the surface of the earth is 9.8 meter per second square and the radius of the earth is 6.4 into 10 raised to 6 meter. Therefore escape velocity is equal to under square root 2 into 9.8 into 6.4 into 10 raised to 6. Now do the calculation. It is 125.44 into 10 raised to 6. Square root of 125.44. It is 11.2 and square root of 10 raised to 6 is 10 raised to 3. Now we have to write this velocity in kilometer per second. Therefore it is equal to 11.2 kilometer per second. That is the escape velocity of the earth. Meaning of this sentence: if we want to send a spacecraft on another planet or on the moon, then the escape velocity, initial velocity should be greater than 11.2 kilometer per second. The spacecraft which sent to the moon on or other planets have their initial velocity larger than escape velocity, so that they can overcome Earth's gravitational attraction and can travel to these objects like moon and planets. Now let us calculate escape velocity on the surface of the moon, given that the mass and radius of the moon is 7.34 into 10 raised to 22 kg and 1.74 into 10 raised to 6 meter. Now use the formula for escape velocity. It is equal to under square root 2 into gm upon r. Now it is equal to 2 into g. The value of g is 6.67 into 10 raised to negative 11, and value of m, that is the mass of the moon, 7.34 into 10 raised to 22 upon the radius of the moon, that is 1.74 into 10 raised to 6. So simplify this calculation, multiply 2 into 6.67 into 7.34. 97.92 into 10 raised to negative 11 into 10 raised to 22, that is 10 raised to 11 upon 1.74 into 10 raised to 6. Now divide 97.92 divided by 1.74. It is equal to 56.28 into, now 10 raised to 11 divided by 10 raised to 6, that is 10 raised to 5. So it is equal to 5.63 into 10 raised to 6. So taking square root of 5.63, it is equal to 2.37 and square root of 10 raised to 6, that is 10 raised to 3 meter per second. Now let us write this in kilometer per second. Therefore escape velocity of the moon, it is equal to 2.37 kilometer per second. Okay. Now next, let us learn weightlessness. Means we are feeling our weight to be minimized. In the spacecraft, travelers as well as object in the spacecraft appear to be floating. Why does this happen? In the spacecraft, the traveler and the objects in the craft are revolving around the earth at specific height. So the value of G is not 0 there, but it is 11% less than that of the value of G on the earth's surface. So value of G is less there, but the air resistance and the buoyant force at this distance is 0. Therefore it is not feeling air resistance, it is not feeling buoyant force, it is only influenced by the gravitational acceleration. Spacecraft, the traveler and the object are in free fall. Do you think that if they are in free fall, why they do not fall on the earth's surface? Because the spacecraft, the traveler and object all are revolving around the earth. Since velocity of spacecraft is along the orbit, the spacecraft, traveler and the object are in the craft are not fall on the earth. So all these things remain stationary with respect to each other, and therefore they do not fall, they only floats in the air